You just gotta know how to navigate through this crazy life and not be insecure, not be depressed, and not have body dysmorphia. There shouldn't be a trend on women's bodies. I'm doing my face right now. Get ready with me while I do my makeup, get this hair tamed, and answer all of the BBL questions, surgery questions that I literally get on a daily and just in real life, and just everything, okay? Like, what did I do? What did I get done? Da-da-da-da. Like, I'm answering all your questions today. A backstory on why I did these, well, why I got little alterations to myself at first. Okay guys, so what I do first, and literally you guys can't really see, but I have like a lot of freckles on my face. Like, clearly I cover them because I wear makeup. But okay, as you can see, this is like some of my makeup. I have like, I don't like that bag. I have like a million bags. It's like crazy. This house, I have this. So it's like my like basic, like simple, whatever, right? So basically, what I do is I just mix and like, all this stuff. Whatever. Let me just get into story time. Okay, so story time, right? Okay, so me personally, I don't have like actual work done on my lower part. I was gonna get a BBL like years ago, and then I was just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So the reason why is because my ex that I was with for like a freaking decade or whatever, right? He made me like feel super insecure, and like he wouldn't compare me, but like when we were out, like he would always look at like other girls with like huge butts, because huge butts were like in. So he would always do that, and like I loved him. Like, I literally loved him. Like, he was way older than me too, so it was just like, there was a lot of red flags. I just ignored every last one of them because, like, what do girls do? Like, we just do that. Ridiculous, right? So, okay, this is gonna be a challenge for me because I've never done this in the phone before, so I hope this turns out good, guys. Like, I really do. I'm just doing, like, whatever right now, so yeah. So, he would look at like other girls, and like, I always admire a gorgeous woman. Like, that's just what I do. But it was the type of women, me, I always had a pretty face. I always like pulled like, the illest, guys and girls and all that. I always like pulled that, and he was my type, but like he wasn't my type like physically. So like even a lot of his friends would be like, how are you with him? Like his friends, his fine friends at that, would be like trying to like, not get me to be loyal and all this stuff. And I'm loyal to the soil, baby. So I would never like switch up or anything. Like, that's just in my blood. And stay loyal. Even no matter how dirty he did me at the time. But I was younger. I was young and naive, So I got to a point where I started getting like super insecure. And I got to a point I started going in his phone, and I would see crazy stuff. Like, he would literally be talking to girls that not even that had like a BBL. Like, they were, and shout out to my BBWs, okay? They were like totally opposite than me. Like, I'm little cutesy, pretty, dainty, like skinny girl, right? Like I wasn't like super skinny, but I was skinny. I was skinny with like big like boobs. So it was just like polar opposite. Like, these girls like looked like hardcore. They were way bigger than me. Like, it wasn't even just like BBL, it was like way bigger. So I was like, oh my god. Like, I felt like he was like, he had like a fetish for that. And yeah, I just started to see like, okay, this is like very weird. So I confronted him about it, and he didn't say much. He was just like, that's how all guys are. And I'm like, no, they're not. I'm like, bro, your friends are like in my DMs every second talking shit about you, literally trying to get with me. Like, what is wrong with you? Even telling me like, oh, I could do so much better. Like, just craziness. But I got makeup in my hair. but you are over here like doing little kinks and stuff with whatever. And he was talking to some of these girls too. Like, it was crazy. Like, he was like paying. It was just insane, okay? First of all, he had money and he was arrogant and he thought he had me because of, you know, like, well, at the time, like, you know, my reputation and whatever. He was just like, it was just bad. And I was so young. I didn't really know any better, clearly. So I just went with the flow until I started to come into my sense, like, this is not right. This is not cool. Like, and he used to like try and belittle me with my body. And it was just insane. But meanwhile, he would go crazy if I ever talked to another guy or even looked another guy's way. But it was fine for him. So I was just like, okay, cool. And now, like, I see where this is going. He was super controlling, though, overall. Like, everyone knew it. Like, he already knew I was like this little like Barbie, and he always wanted me to be so perfect, this, that, and the third. So I told him, I'm like, okay, you have all this stuff. You love me, supposedly, whatever. Clearly, that's not love if they don't love you for you. But like, so why don't you pay for my surgery then? And I was like so young, you know? So, because all the women he was looking at was like way older than me, like around like his age group at the time. So I said to him, okay, so why don't you pay my surgery? You want me to look a certain way, why don't you just pay for my surgery? He did not want to pay for my surgery, and it was only because, and he had it times a million, okay? It was only because he already knew who I was and like how I looked at that point. If I got my body done then, it would be over. Because that was like, you know, that was the thing. Black China came out when, you know, Kim K, Mother, Nikki, like everyone under the sun had, you know, surgery then. This was like, I would say like 2016, 17, like around then. So yeah, so it got so bad one day. I was starting to feel so depressed and so like disgusted with myself, looking at myself, because I'm just like, oh my God, like how do I make him happy? Like I feel like he's not happy. Like I don't know. I like lost it. I was crying on the phone. He literally ran to my house, left his Benz in like the middle of the freaking street because he ran out of gas. But ran out of gas. And he's like, what's wrong? I thought something happened. Because I literally started bawling and then I hung up the phone on him. So I literally was like, I was yelling from my window at my parents' house. And I was like, I don't want to speak to you. I have nothing to fucking say to you. Like, you're disgusting. Like, you broke me down. You made me so insecure, blah, 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 right? And he's like ringing my bell. My dad is starting to like go crazy. So I just ended up going outside. So when I went outside, we talked, and I was like, you don't love me. If you really loved me, like, you wouldn't make me get my body done, or you wouldn't be like talking or paying girls or whatever the case may be. Like, you just wouldn't be like that. So he literally, oh my God, guys, I'm getting so comfortable. I'm like not blending in my face, but he literally was like, no, it's not even like that, blah, blah, blah. Just all this stuff, right? So basically, I started getting insecure. I started to wear waist trainers and stuff. I thought, okay, maybe that will slow me down. That didn't make sense because I was already skinny. Like, I was already super skinny. Like, I was already skinny, so it didn't make sense. So, so he was just like, I'm sorry, you know, I love you. I told him, I was like, you know, I'm leaving him. I was like, go be with one of those girls that have that, because clearly, ooh. I said, go be with one of those girls that have that, because clearly that is not me. So he was not leaving me alone for nothing, because he knew once I'm on the market, everybody and their mother is going to try and holler at me. Okay, so he was not having that happen. So, yeah, we stuck it out. But yeah, he got better from what I seen. Guys, my cat is here. Want to say hi? Come here and say hi, mommy. Oh, say hi. My twin. So yeah, he got better, whatever, for the time being. And then he just got worse. Like, it was really bad. Like, it was really bad. Like, verbal abuse and just all that. So I really started to look at myself and I was like, wow, okay. So we finally ended it. And long story short, down the line, I ended up getting clearly some stuff done. And yeah, so that was kind of the basis of it. But then I really like looked in myself, and I just liked how I liked the look of having like clothing fit you a certain way, like pictures coming out a certain way, like just the whole aesthetic of it. I loved it, like, for myself. I started to love it for myself. So I ended up getting injections, and at first they were noticeable, but like not as bad. And then it got bad. It got pretty bad after that. It started to spread because I started to eat. Every time when you eat and you have injections, it starts to get bigger. And that's what it was doing. And then I went for like 2 other rounds, and they're expensive. Like, it got paid for, but they're expensive, okay? I don't condone it because it is very dangerous. Like, it is super dangerous. I don't condone it. I didn't have any complications or anything like that, but everybody's body is different. Disclaimer, y'all. Like, disclaimer. I'm not condoning this for any of my girls, my young girls. Like, I'm really an advocate for girls and young girls because we literally go through so much as women in general. And, especially having certain, like, men's opinions and stuff like that. I know, and not even just that, and, like, the way society, really perceives everything. And, the influencers, the huge influencers out, like, we look at what we see, and then we see girls with this, that, and the third. And then, y'all think it'll be like that because of body alterations. Like, do whatever makes you happy. And I know everyone says that because it's so cliche, but really don't do it for anybody else. Do what makes you happy. For me personally, I am on the road to actually lose the weight. It's so crazy. Like, you want something, they always say, like, you want something, and then once you get it, you don't want it anymore. Literally, it's so crazy because I feel like as women, we go with, like, what is in with the trends or what's in. I got a blend, guys. I'm just, like, busy talking to you. But, what's in for trends, what's not. Like, we have to really keep up, a social stigma and standard with things. So, I just say still do what you want to do, but natural is always better. It doesn't matter if you feel like, oh, you think you look like this or you think you look this way. Natural is go-to. Like, the way God made you, you have to, like, maintain it. Like, I eat healthy. I still didn't change, like, my diet and lifestyle. Like, I'm still super healthy at the end of the day. Like, you have to do what makes you happy. And that's that. I gotta get dressed, guys. I don't know what to wear today, but I'm gonna figure it out. But, yeah, literally do what makes you happy at the end of the day. Don't do it for a man. Originally, that's what I had wanted to do, was do it for a man. And I was just like, why the hell would I do that? Like, that is so crazy. Like, no, do it for yourself. Or at the time, I literally would have got a BBL. I would have gotten one on my own myself because clearly he didn't want to get it for me, even though he was obsessed with that. He didn't want to do it because he knew, but literally, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't make or break you. I say do what you want to do. Listen, I made low-key a sacrifice because it was painful. I'm not gonna lie. I had a great plug. Like, you gotta really be plugged into that world to know a person, But I say stick with your natural body, okay? I'm trying to go back to really look natural. And I lost some pounds, so the girl's looking good. I'm gonna, like, do, like, a whole progress video. I'm looking for my highlight and I can't find it, guys. Oh my god. I can't find my highlight. And guys, literally, natural is really, and right now, like, you see all the influencers, all the girlies are literally going back to their roots. Like, literally skinny is any, but it's not even that. Any body shape is in. Like, there shouldn't be a trend on women's bodies. It's just really annoying because, like, men don't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really don't at the end of the day. So, of course, like I said, do it for yourself. Don't do it for a man, especially if you're young girls. Like, that's why I always advocate to you guys, because when I get into my more story times and situations, you guys will see why, I am so matured the way I am, because I've been through a lot. I've been through it all. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen it all, truth be honest, and I'm still so young. So, but, that's life. And stuff happens. You just grow up a little bit, faster. And that was really, it just be some stuff, but you just gotta know how to navigate through this crazy life and not be insecure, not be depressed, and not have body dysmorphia, because it is so crazy to see these young girls. Like, when I was in school, that's not like what I was insecure about. It was like either like, oh my God, if I got a bad grade on my test, like this, that, and the third. Or, I cared about my outfits a lot, because the girl used to be fly going to school. But I wouldn't care, like, oh my God, when's my latest, like, surgery appointment? I'm getting a consultation for my boobs. Like, like, you do that stuff when you're older. Like, now it's, like, so normalized at this point. It's, like, it's crazy. I mean, for, like, young girls, and, like, to each his own. Like, everybody, their own person. You can't, like, force someone to not do it. But what I'm saying is, I see a lot of, young girls just super depressed, and, they see what they see on social media. Like, not all these girls is really living like how they live. I know personally, like, because I know some of these girls, you know what I mean? Some girls be asking me for bread at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So, come on. And it's just, guys, just do what you have to do. Just, like, work on an actual, like, career goal, and just go from there, Like, don't do anything crazy. Don't get into any crazy So, yeah. And, guys, literally, natural is really, and right now, like, you see all the influencers, all the girlies are literally going back to their roots. Like, literally skinny is any, but it's not even that. Any body shape is in. Like, there shouldn't be a trend on women's bodies. It's just really annoying because, like, men don't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really don't at the end of the day. So, of course, like I said, do it for yourself. Don't do it for a man, especially if you're young girls. Like, that's why I always advocate to you guys, because I get into my more story times and situations, you guys will see why, I am so matured the way I am, because I've been through a lot. I've been through it all. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen it all, truth be honest, and I'm still so young. So, but, that's life. Stuff happens. You just grow up a little bit, faster. You just gotta know how to navigate through this crazy life and not be insecure, not be depressed, and not have body dysmorphia, because it is so crazy to see these young girls. Like, when I was in school, that's not like what I was insecure about. It was like either like, oh my God, if I got a bad grade on my test, like this, that, and the third. Or, I cared about my outfits a lot, because the girl used to be fly going to school. But I wouldn't care, like, oh my God, when's my latest, like, surgery appointment? I'm getting a consultation for my boobs. Like, like, you do that stuff when you're older. Like, now it's, like, so normalized at this point. It's, like, it's crazy. I mean, for, like, young girls, and, like, to each his own. Like, everybody, their own person. You can't, like, force someone to not do it. But what I'm saying is, I see a lot of, you know, young girls just super depressed, and you know, they see what they see on social media. Like, not all these girls is really living like how they live. I know personally, like, because I know some of these girls, you know what I mean? Some girls be asking me for bread at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So come on. And it's just, guys, just do what you have to do. Just like work on an actual like career goal, and just go from there. All I did was my hips and my butt, and that was it. So that was literally it. Everything else is good to go, you know what I'm saying? But you know, as body alterations wise, that's all I did on my body. Just my hips and my butts. To each his own, but you know, I don't condone it personally. I feel great, you know, I look great. But I am losing it because I did go overboard. So I am starting to, you know, just do some stuff and just work out, still eat super clean. But yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys.